Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, April 17th. And for circle time today, we are going to read a story, and then we're going to look at a photo activity card of pigs, and then we're going to work on beginning sounds, letters T, M, Q, U, and V. And then we're going to do another photo activity card and learn about horses. And then you guys will get to choose a Magic School Bus episode to watch at home, just like we do at Fridays at school. So our story today is called Curious George. And there's a picture of George. This is George. He lived in Africa. He was very happy, but he had one fault. He was too curious. One day, George saw a man. He had on a large yellow straw hat. The man saw George too. What a nice little monkey, he thought. I would like to take him home with me. The man put his hat on the ground, and of course, George was curious. He came down from the tree to look at the large yellow hat. The hat had been on the man's head. George thought it would be nice to have it on his own head. He picked it up and put it on. The hat covered George's head, and he couldn't see. The man picked him up quickly and popped him into a bag, and George was caught. The man with the big yellow hat put George into a little boat, and a sailor rowed them both across the water to a big ship. George was sad, but he was still a little curious. On the big ship, things began to happen. The man took off the bag. George sat on a little stool, and the man said, "George, I'm going to take you to a big zoo in a big city. You will like it there. Now run along and play, but don't get into trouble." George promised to be good, but it is easy for little monkeys to forget. On the deck, he found some seagulls. He wondered how they could fly. He was very curious. Finally, he had to try. It looked easy, but oh no. What happened? What do you guys think is going to happen to George? He's at the very edge of the ship. I think he's probably going to fall in when he's trying to catch that seagull. First this, and then this. Where is George? The sailors looked and looked. At last they saw him struggling in the water and almost all tired out. "Man overboard!" the sailors cried as they threw him a life belt. George caught it and held on. At last he was safe on board. After that, George was more careful to be a good monkey, until at last the long trip was over. George said goodbye to the kind sailors, and he and the man with the yellow hat walked off the ship onto the shore and into the city to the man's house. After a good meal and a good pipe, George felt very tired. He crawled into bed and fell asleep at once. The next morning, the man telephoned the zoo. George watched him. He was fascinated. Then the man went away. George was curious. He wanted to telephone too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What fun! Ding-a-ling-a-ling! George had telephoned the fire station. The firemen rushed to the telephone. "Hello, hello," they said, but there was no answer. Then they looked for the signal on the big map that showed where the telephone call had come from. They didn't know it was George. They thought it was a real fire. "Hurry, hurry, hurry!" The firemen jumped onto the fire engines and onto the hook and ladders. Ding dong, ding dong! Everyone out of the way! Hurry, hurry, hurry! The firemen rushed into the house. They opened the door. No fire, only a naughty little monkey. "Oh, catch him," they cried. George tried to run away. He almost did, but he got caught in the telephone wire. And then a thin fireman caught one arm, and a fat fireman caught the other. "You fooled the fire department," they said. "We will have to shut you up where you can't do any more harm." They took him away and sent him to prison. George wanted to get out. He climbed up to the window to try the bars. Just then the watchman came in. He got on the wooden bed to catch George, but the watchman was too big and heavy. The bed tipped up, and the watchman fell over, and quick as lightning, George ran out through the open door. He hurried through the building and out onto the roof, and then he was lucky to be a monkey. Out he walked on the telephone wires, quickly and quietly over the guard's head. George walked away. He was free. Down in the street outside the prison wall stood a balloon man. A little girl bought a balloon for her brother. George watched. He was curious again. He felt he must have a bright red balloon. He reached over and tried to help himself. But instead of one balloon, the whole bunch broke loose. In an instant, the wind whisked them all away, and with them went George, holding tight with both hands. Up, up he sailed, higher and higher. The houses looked like tiny houses, and the people like dolls. George was frightened. He held on very tight. At first, the wind blew in great gusts. Then it quieted. Finally, it stopped blowing altogether. George was very tired. Down, down he went, bump, on top of a traffic light. Everyone was surprised. The traffic got all mixed up. George didn't know what to do. And then he heard someone call, "George!" He looked down and saw his friend, the man with the big yellow hat. George was very happy. The man was happy too. George slid down the post, and the man with the big yellow hat put him under his arms. Then he paid the balloon man for all the balloons. And then George and the man climbed into the car, and at last away they went. To the zoo. What a nice place for George to live. The end. That was a great story. All right, next we are going to look at our photo activity card of a pig. And do you guys know what this pig is doing? Can you see in the picture? He looks like he is digging for something in the mud. And it looks like there's an apple or maybe a pepper that the pig is eating. How would you guys feel if you had to dig through the dirty mud to eat your food? That would be pretty yucky, right? Because that's not clean food. That piece of fruit or that vegetable has tons of mud all over it, and it's probably really yucky. But look at Mr. Pig. He has dirt all over his mouth and all over his snout and on his legs and on his tail. Have you guys ever seen a pig before? Yeah, you have? Where have you seen a pig? That's right, you've probably seen a pig at the farm or maybe at the zoo in the farm section. What color was the pig that you saw? Do you guys remember if you saw the pig? You're right, it probably looks like this pig in this picture. This pig is kind of a light pink color, almost white. And his legs, if you look really closely, are pink in the back. But it's hard to see because he's so dirty. What do you think it would be like to live in the mud if your house was made of mud? Do you think it would be cold mud, or would it be warm mud, or would you be scared? I would probably be a little scared at night and you're just laying in the mud. There may be bugs in the mud, or it could be really cold at night. You never know. Do you think that pigs take a bath? Maybe they have their own bathtub, or maybe they get sprayed down with water with a hose. I don't know if I've ever seen a clean pig. Have you seen a clean pig before? Yeah, they're always dirty. They love being in the mud. It feels good to them. And I know everybody knows what sound a pig makes. Can we all make the pig sound? Oink, 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 oink. And we could be a mommy pig or a daddy pig or baby pigs, whatever you want to be. And now we are going to do a finger play. Usually you do this with your feet, but we're going to do it with our hands. Okay? So I'm going to read it. Everything's on the back of this card that I'm helping you with. So we are going to read this poem. And it is called This Little Piggy. So I want everyone to hold up your hand like this. And we're going to put all our fingers down just like this. So they're all hiding. We're going to pretend that our fingers are piggies. So we're going to say, this little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy cried, wee, 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 all the way home. And usually you do that with your feet, but it would be hard for me to record a video and show you my feet. So you guys want to do that one again? And this time you can do it with your feet too, and I will show you with my hands, and mommy or daddy can help you. So put up your hand or put up your feet, and then we're going to close it so they're all sleeping. And it's, this little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef, and this little piggy had none. And this little piggy cried, wee, 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 all the way home. That was a great job, guys. So let's say bye to Mr. Piggy till later. All right, and next we are going to work on our beginning sounds for the letters T, M, Q, U, and V. You guys have done such a great job at working on your beginning sounds. I'm super proud of you. So the first letter is the letter T. Can you guys think of an animal that lives in a shell and he's green? And we read about him the other day. Let me see if I have the book. He's green and there's his shell and he hides in there if he gets scared. Do you remember what animal this guy is, that Franklin is? You're right, he's a turtle, and T is for turtle. So I'm going to write out the word turtle. Turtle is spelled T-U-R-T-L-E. And now, just like the other days, Can you guys point to our beginning sound, our beginning letter? You're right. It's right here. That's our beginning letter, the letter T. So let's make our box around the letter T. And you guys can do this too at home and do it along with me. So our letter T makes a t, t, t sound. Can everybody do that? Good job. T, 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 turtle. T, 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 turtle. Very good, friends. Our next letter is the letter M. And we are going to do M is for something that is super tiny. And he has the tail. And he goes squeak, 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 squeak. You guys know what animal that is? You're right. It's a mouse. Mouse is spelled M-O-U-S-E. And here is our word mouse. So let's all point to our beginning letter. Where is our beginning letter? Remember, our beginning letter is always the first letter. You're right. Here it is, letter M. So let's put a box around letter M, just like that. And do you guys know what sound letter M makes? You're right. It makes the sound. You put your lips together, go mouse. Mouse. Fabulous job, friends. Our next letter is the letter Q. And we are going to do Q for somebody who lives in a castle. And this person is married to a king. Do you guys know who the person that is married to a king is called? You're right. It's called the queen. And this is our letter Q. So let's put a box around our letter Q. And Q is a little tricky word and a tricky letter sound to do. Q makes the qua, qua, qua sound. Can you guys do qua, qua? Just practice it. Very good. So it is qua, qua, queen. Qua, qua, queen. Good job, friends. Alright, next is the letter U. And I am thinking about something that you use when it's raining outside. You hold it by a handle. And then you hold it over your head like this so then the water doesn't get all over your body and all over your head. What do you guys think I am thinking of? You're right, an umbrella. And here is our beginning letter. That is the letter U. And U makes the sound umbrella. Umbrella. Can you guys repeat that? Very good. Umbrella. And then our last letter for today is the letter V. And V is for somebody who takes care of your animals. Who do you go to if your cat or your dog or your horse or your pig or any animals are sick? They don't go to the doctor like us. Where do they go? They go to an animal doctor. But what is that animal doctor called? Very good. It is called a vet. And vet starts with the letter V, just like this letter. And does anybody know what the letter V sound makes? Very good. It makes the V sound. Let's all practice that. V, vet. Vet. Fabulous job, friends. Good job on working on your letter V sound. Alrighty. Next, we are going to do one more photo activity card because on Fridays we always do 2. And today we are going to also do what animal? Can anyone see what animal this is? Very good. It's a horse. And what do you guys know about horses? Yeah, horses live on the farm, and they have beautiful long tails, and they have pretty shiny hair. Do you guys know what sound a horse makes? Very good. It says neigh. And back here you can see some more horses. So let's count the horses. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 horses in our picture. Maybe they live on a horse farm. Have you guys ever been on a horse? Have you ever rode on the back of the horse? Sometimes when you ride on the back of a horse, it has a saddle, and that's where you sit. And then next, it is asking us to name the parts of the horse. Do you guys think you can do it? I think you can, because you guys are so smart. So the first thing is, where is his mane? Do you guys know where the horse's mane is? Yeah, it's right here at the top. All that hair right there is called the horse's mane. Next, can you find the horse's hooves? Do you guys know where the hooves are located? Yeah, they're down here on the feet at the bottom, and that helps protect the horse's feet when he's walking in the mud or the grass or the dirt. It helps keep them clean. Next, can you find the horse's tail? Where could his tail be? Very good. It's right here. He has a long, black, shiny tail. Next, where are his legs? Did you find them? Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the horse uses his legs to walk or to run or to trot and gallop. And if you've ever been on a horse, you know that a horse can go really slow or he can go really fast. So he needs nice, strong legs to do all those different movements. Next, let's find the horse's ears. Do you guys see them? You're right. They're right here. And can you guys see what kind of shaped ears a horse has? Yeah, he has a triangle-shaped ears. That's kind of silly, huh? Next, we need to find the horse's nose. Do you see the horse's nose? Can you point to it? Good job. It's right there. He has a big nose. He probably uses that to smell lots of good food and smells the people he interacts with. Next is, where have you seen a horse before? Yeah, you've probably seen a horse at the farm, or maybe one of your neighbors has horses, or you see horses at the zoo. Those are all great places to find a horse. And do you know that horses can be used for work, or they can be used for fun? So when horses are working, they like to do herding. They herd different animals to certain places. And then they also plow. They plow the fields and get rid of grass and use the hay. And they also pull wagons. And that's why they need all these strong muscles and strong legs that you see. And they also transport things. So sometimes horses will have things on their backs because they're so strong, and they'll take it from one place to another place, kind of like a car does, or a mailman when he delivers. Horses can deliver things too. And then when we have fun on horses, what do you do when you have fun with the horses? Sometimes you see them at horse shows, or when there's horse races, or sometimes just when you're going out for fun to go horseback riding. Those are all fun things that horses do. So horses have a lot of jobs to do, huh? Horses are measured in hands, kind of like the hands on your body. One hand equals 4 inches, this many inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what you can do with mommy and daddy is you can stand up nice and tall, and mommy and daddy will use their hands to measure you and see how many hands tall you are. And remember that when you're measuring, a hand is 4 inches. Okay? So you can do that with mommy and daddy. That would be a fun activity. That is all about our horses. So say bye to Mr. Horse. Say see you later. And to finish up our circle time, you guys know that every Friday you get to watch a Magic School Bus episode. So if mommy and daddy allow, you can go watch a Magic School Bus episode because those are super educational, and you could find one. Remember, there's the one about the farm and they have the chickens on there. You could watch that one, or I know you guys love the ocean one. So pick a Magic School Bus episode to watch and just have some quiet time. And I hope everybody has a good weekend, and hopefully the weather's nice and you can go outside to play and get rid of some of your energy. And then I will see everybody on Monday. And I hope you have a great time with your family. Bye, everybody.